There we go. Hi, and welcome to day 19 of my self-improvement challenge. Today, because I'm doing it later in the day and it was so nice, I thought I'd change up the scene, try and keep it interesting for you. So today's an interesting day because I'm actually going to be quitting, there you are, I'll be quitting a couple of things. As I've been going on with this challenge, I noticed that it's becoming easier and easier to drop things. I'm getting more and more eager and ready to let go of the things that are coming up, and it's getting more. It's just getting easier, and I'm getting more solid in myself. So my body's actually being able to tell me what I want, and it's what it wants and needs, and that's pretty exciting. So today we're going to do a couple of things because I've already kind of quit what today was supposed to be. So today is a combo of some physical things and some emotional things. Today, so for the physical, I'm going to be quitting salt and seasonings and stimulants. So when I say salt and seasonings, I kind of mean like the artificial stuff, the things that you find in products with lots of ingredients in them, and also just the amount of salt that goes into food in general. I'm going to be cutting back on that and basically eating a lot more natural, simple foods, and having I'm going to make myself a little bit of seasoning. That's maybe like taking some kelp and drying it out and grinding it up and using that selectively on some of my foods to bring down the salt, because salt and sugar were used to preserve foods, and we don't need to preserve foods the way that we have in order to eat well now. That was mostly from kind of old English style stuff and coming over on long journeys, and we became addicted and used to that kind of flavor. But as my palate has been cleaning up and clearing up and becoming more sensitive, I'm tasting a lot more richness in different foods. So I'm going to just be cutting down generally on the amount of salt, but also cutting out the junk that goes into foods, and I'll be making my own seasonings for that. And likewise with stimulants, I've already given up coffee, and I didn't really say that I had given up caffeine in general, but I have been giving up caffeine. Today was supposed to be a caffeine day, but as I'm starting to work out more, I'm recognizing that I need to eat more protein. So I'm looking if anyone has any recommendations. Maybe Garrett, you might know a good green powder that I can throw into my smoothies. My smoothies tend to be a lot really like lots of fruit, lots of sugar in there. So I'm wanting to cut that down and put more protein and more nutrients and make it greener. So I'm going to be replacing the stimulants with a green powder and maybe a multivitamin and maybe mate. I'm not really sure. I don't really feel like I need any kind of upper right now. I have so much energy. I have so much energy, I don't really know what to do with it. When I'm up and I'm ready to go. I have no resentment towards life, towards the day. I get up and I start my breathing and my push-ups, and it doesn't feel like something I have to do anymore. I look forward to it. And I just carry that energy all the way through my day, right up till I go to bed. I have to kind of chill out. So I've got all this energy I don't know what to do with. I'm doing tons of push-ups. I'm doing about 100 to 150 push-ups a day now. So yeah, I'm replacing the salt with my own kelp stuff and cutting down on the amount, and stimulants I'm going to cut down, and I'm going to be replacing that with a multivitamin and looking for a protein powder or a green powder to throw in my smoothies. So that's the physical side of my day today, my daily challenge. But I was inspired since last night I did another one of those 5 rhythms dances, which is still one of the most empowering exercises that I've been doing for myself. I get so much more out of it. It's almost become my church or my religious practice. It just really centers me, grounds me, and connects my body to my mind, to my emotions, and to my spirit. It just really balances me out on all of those spectrums. And what I noticed last night was that I wanted to, I didn't want to, but I wasn't avoiding it either, but I had tears, like as I was dancing I was really empowered, but I felt like I needed to Good. I felt like I needed to cry, and I wasn't sure how to do it. I was maybe still a little embarrassed about maybe doing that in public, but I know that there's emotional stuff coming up, and I'm still learning how to process those things. So I thought today a good emotional thing is that I'm going to avoid conflict. Aversion, basically aversion to things. I'm going to knock that out. So if I have a conflict with somebody that I'm avoiding, if someone's done something I don't like, or if there's something I have to do regarding somebody else that I'm not sure about, and I've been, it's kind of similar to procrastination, but it's a little different because sometimes you just might go years without actually addressing an issue that you have. So avoiding conflict, I'm giving that up. So if I have a beef with somebody, it's going to come out, and it's going to come out nicely and stuff like that. Mostly, you find when you do start, breaking the ice with someone, that it was a bigger deal in your mind than it was in that it would be in real life. And the other thing that I'm going to give up is the aversion of feelings. So I had a good talk with someone yesterday. I've developed my emotional intelligence to the point where I can analyze what I'm feeling, but I still have not had a very good time being able to feel my feelings, and that's a whole different thing. I can, and so letting go of the story, this is something that a friend recommended, is letting go of the story that comes along with those emotions. Well, that person did that, and that really bugged me, and da-da-da-da-da, and that matters because this is where I'm at, and blah, blah, blah. Letting go of the story and just feeling the feeling, and feeling for as long as it needs to be felt. I tend to want to feel it and get over it. Aversion, it's been so ingrained into me for so long that I avoid feeling things, and so I think that what's coming up is just the stuff that needs to come out. I had a breakup years ago that was painful for me, and I still, when I think about it, it brings up sadness. But yesterday, when it came back up in my mind again, for the first time, I actually felt anger towards the person. And that was interesting. I don't know if that's because I was avoiding things or if I'm getting more in touch with my feelings. And basically, this anger bubbled up, and I'm like, oh, I need to tell somebody. I need to tell this person that I didn't like that happened that way, and I think that they would benefit from hearing that. And I think that that's when you deny yourself feelings, then you also deny other people the emotional intelligence and learning opportunity that comes from sharing your emotions. Now, there's a difference between saying, hey, you made me feel this way, or I felt this way when this happened. So I don't want to start blaming people, or because that's a form of violence to tell other people that they're responsible for how you're feeling. So I don't want to get into that, but I do want to be able to stand true in what's going on for me in the moment, and also stand true in what's going on in my relationship to somebody at the same time. So what I'm going to replace that with is, as my intuition gets stronger, it's just going to be connected to the procrastination thing. When something comes up, I'm just going to talk about it. I'm just going to say it straight up. Maybe I'll say it out loud to myself if I'm by myself, just to acknowledge it. And with the feelings, I'm going to let go of the story and just feel them. And if I need to cry, I need to cry. And if I need to get angry, I need to do some push-ups. That's what I'm going to do. So that's that. And just to talk a little bit about what makes me work in this world, why I've been facing such a strong dopamine addiction for so long, and why one of the reasons I think I have overwhelming feelings in general and sensitivity is partly because I had an intuition to pay attention from an early age, and then it was fostered by growing up on Denman and by my mother. And so I've been reading this book. You can't see it because it's backwards, but The Way of the Superior Man. If you're a guy and you have troubles with your career or your purpose or depression or women, this is a really great starter book to read. And it's funny how as my days have been going on and as I've been reading this, it parallels what's going on for me, which is just amazing. So I just want to read this, basically this chapter that is talking about the difference in how men and women approach God. Women need love and men need, how does it work? Sorry. Men need to enjoy, like an orgasm in French is called petit mort, or little death, and men generally, they fight to release. They when they orgasm, they relax, and it's the nothingness, the void, the emptiness that is what they want to experience. And for me, I think, I don't know how everyone else experiences life. Maybe you guys could give me some feedback, but I've been under the bigoted presumption that people just tune out their feelings and tune out what's going on around them, and are just thankful because of how crappy other people's lives are, that if they get their own little piece of dirt in their own little situation, and that's fine, and they keep their head down, then that's what's going on. But I'm pretty sure it's a lot more complicated than that, and that's a fairly naive assumption to make about every other person. So for me, because I feel and I wonder and I want to know what this life is about, it's just such a miracle and such a tragedy at the same time, this planet and what's going on. And it hurts my heart when I think about it. And so, because the problems seem so overwhelming and so international and global in scale, that I don't really know what to do about it. I don't know how to turn off those feelings. But I'm just gonna read this quote here, because this talks a little bit about this talks about coming back to your purpose, your true purpose, and why it's so important for a man to have an awareness and be following and stay in integrity with their ultimate purpose. So I'm just going to read this. You must own the primacy of your desire to be free. Sorry, that's it. Men want freedom, women want love. They want to feel love, and men want free. They want to be released. So I've always valued freedom quite a lot. So here we go. You must own the primacy of your desire to be free. Then you can enjoy the lesser forms of masculine ecstasy. But dedicate yourself to its highest form. Transcendence of the fear of death by facing the limiting stress of your own self-sense and relaxing through it into the absolute freedom you have always intuited at your core, but sought through only temporary means. So I've always known. So basically, the transcendence of the fear of death. We all fear death, and facing the limiting stress of being self-aware. Like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, and it hurts. By facing that fear and by owning and working and accepting the limits, the limit of being self-aware, I'll be able to relax into and accept the situation that I'm in. And in that place, I will find the freedom that I have always intuitively known, that things can be free. We can have freedom. We can have love and joy. We don't need these things to fill up our hearts. And by being in that place and coming back into that place, I won't need to find that freedom through marijuana or alcohol or food. So, yeah, this is just a very funny coincidence that this book happens to be articulating something that I've been trying to put my finger on for a while. So that's day 19, everyone. Quitting salt and seasonings. Gonna up my seasoning game by making my own. Gonna get some spirulina there. Thanks for the suggestion. And avoiding conflict. That might be something that I include in some of the letters that I'm writing. It's just addressing any feelings that I've had that I've been holding on to and releasing them and doing it in a good way. So I think that that's probably what's partly made, everyone has a bit of a wall that goes up, and you can sometimes tell how genuine a person is or not, and maybe you have a partner and you know that that person's much more closer and more open with you because they can let their walls down because they trust you and there's an emotional safety there. So I think that over time, slowly, I've developed a few walls with some of you, and maybe the way to release that is to just start getting honest and avoid any of the conflicts that might be there or not. I'm not sure how much there is, but we'll just take it one day at a time. I don't have a list or anything like that. So that's day 19. I thank you very much for watching. I can't believe this is this process. How powerful it's been for me, and I'm just excited to see where it goes, and I just want you guys to know that this is a real honor to be witnessed like this, so thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye.